Now, this video is going to be dealing with and covering psychological warfare. Ultimately, this video is basically talking about a prison, the prison that we create in our mind, the prison that we create in our mind. Now, I'm going to attach this video also to the video I made called Devil Part 2. I think that's more clear. Devil Part 2 and the Demons of the Fall. This follows those because those same entities that we talk about understand human psyche. The same entities that people call New World Order or the Illuminati or whatever that shit is. The same entities they call that understand that the only way that you can continue to keep any group of people into a slave type mentality is to psychologically have them imprison themselves through choice. Psychologically have them imprison themselves through their choice to imprison themselves. So, in other words, they're going to put a lot of things out there for your brain to see, your eyes to see, because they use the five senses to control everything that you do. If you can't see it, it ain't real, and if you can't see it, it must not be real. And if you see it, it must be real, and it could be the opposite. It's not. They use your senses to manipulate you into making a choice to stay stuck in a prison, and this is what I mean by prison. The mind creates a prison for you, and you stay in that prison. And most people, they listen to the powers that be, or should I say the majority. And when they listen to the majority, they tend to just go with it without research, without looking into anything. And then they go, hey, this is what it is. And they create a wall around them, and it becomes the prison they live in. The same thing happens to most people that grow up in bad households, bad neighborhoods, or been traumatized in life, because what they do is they build a reality around themselves so that they can feel like they can survive. It's a survival technique, I get it. But at times you have to wake up out of that and look at the patterns that everything is going on, is repeating all the time. And that you'll know that you're in a perpetual loop of a prison situation, prison planet, prison reality that you agree to, that you want to keep going subconsciously. Because if you didn't, you would challenge things. And most people don't challenge anything but each other. And they fight each other and challenge each other at the same time. These powers that be, or whoever they want to call it, the white man or whatever, they they steadily getting what they gonna get, because you're in a perpetual prison state, and you don't want to break it. You're in a prison state in the mind. The prison state in the mind is what I'm saying is, if you claiming things aren't right in this world, if you claiming things aren't good, then you have to go, why isn't it good? So then you go into why isn't it good, and you can only surmise that it's the powers that be are behind it, or should I say the politicians or all your great people that you got at the top that you vote for. Those are the ones that are playing this game with you. This game of, you can have what you want. Oh no, you can't. You can have what you want. Oh no, you can't. You can have this. Oh, I was gonna do this for you, but no, I'm not. And it's a perpetual loop. And then people go voting again, and they go, well, they're gonna do it for us this time. And no, they not. So the whole point is, we make these choices to keep going through this perpetual loop, because somehow we listening to people we don't know, strangers, and you listening to them. But when a stranger like me talking to you, you won't listen to me, but you listening to a stranger because he went to school. You know how many people go to school and they don't even go into the profession they went to school for? So we're not even talking about that. So if somebody went to school, that don't mean nothing. So at the end of the day, if they're not using common sense and wisdom, then they're just programmed robots. And this is how we get into a perpetual loop, because people want to be what the system makes them, and somehow don't think that they're a robot. See, what the system made me is, it made me realize through my traumas that this is bullshit. All of it. And yeah, I'm gonna eat, I'm gonna do what everybody else do, because I gotta do that. But I can still say what I want because I'm in this reality and I know that it's full of shit, all of it. you know. So at the end of the day, the only thing that's good in it is the trees, the nature. But when everything else in it is just full of shit, it's bullshit. And for people to want to continuously want to live into this prison perpetual loop, they have some type of delusion in their mind that something is going to come change it. And this usually falls under moniker of religion, where people like to get into religion and Bibles and books, and they don't even follow the shit. They don't even follow it because the Bible and these books make it impossible for you to be what they say you need to be, because you can't be. You can't be perfect, and it won't be. But you get the book. Most people get the book, and they start acting super religious and that they're better than other people when they're the worst ones, because they don't live nothing by the book. The book says live by the book, to walk like that man they call Jesus. And you can't even walk like it or live like the book, and yet you want everybody to know that you're religious. See, that's the prison delusion that people live in, and then it's accepted. So then when shit goes wrong in the world, ultimately society, you can't blame nobody but yourself for not being 100% of what you believe in and going for sucker shit every day because the government say it, because somebody by the president say it, or somebody on the news say it, and these ain't nothing but people talking to you just like I am. And so what? Person might have a position of power, but their position of power was given to them. They ain't got no position of shit. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you listen to them, but you won't listen to what I'm saying and go and look it up and find out. No, you're just gonna go, "Bah, man, really," and that's dumb. So then you can't be intelligent. Like, you go look into shit that I'm saying. Just go look into it. But you can't, because your ego distorts you, and that what keeps you into the prison that you live in the mind. Then you wake up depressed, complaining about a world that you choose to refuse to understand, and then you get mad. Yeah, you can understand this world because everything about it is out there for you to learn, but they know that you're not gonna look. You know why? Because you love it. You love being in a prison state, a perpetual state, and like my woman says, she says, you're the prisoner, you're the warden, and you the CO of your own prison in your own mind. Yeah, that's you. You all that. You doing that to yourself. When you see something happening over and over again, it's fucked. Okay, so don't. It's no more having no what you call faith, which is a bullshit word. What you call hope, which is a bullshit word. Okay, hope is a fantasy, and such is faith as well. I really hope. What the fuck is that? So again, you living your life based off of hopes and faiths, and that's an illusion. You got to live your life off of for sure. It's got to be for sure shot. It can't be no I hope and none of that. It's got to be definite. And if it ain't, then it ain't shit. Fuck it. You know what I mean? So that's what we gotta start living like. Is this definite? Now, well, let me see. And if it's not definite, then hey, then it's not real. So all this voting and all this president shit and all this listening to what they say, it ain't worked to this point. So what is the point? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like people, like, they're gluttons for punishment to be getting fucked over and over again because they see shit ain't working, and it's taking too long to work. So then that means fuck that shit. It ain't working. They not working for your best interest. So fuck them. Don't No voting, no paying attention to China, no paying attention to Russia. Fuck all these punks, man. They just some punks, man. This is what it is. They just some punks that got positions of power, and they keeping you in a prison because they know that you stupid and that you're not going to look into shit, and they'll just tell you anything. So why even pay attention to motherfuckers that think that about you? Why even pay attention to what they ever have to say? You know what I'm saying? And if they try to lay down some law on you without you agreeing to it, then therefore they're telling on themselves that they never liked you. So you don't have to ever listen to them. You ain't gotta ever vote, do nothing, and everything should still just be fine. And if it ain't, then you know that they ain't shit and they never been shit. So then you got it. You ain't gotta never listen to nothing nobody motherfucking say. So if you ain't listening to me, then you ain't gotta listen to them either. The news, the fucking president, or anybody that's talking, turn that shit off. And then if they want to fuck with you, then you know that they never cared about you anyway. Because they gonna come with some shit and then you're gonna be like, what happened? What happened? And panicking, and everybody panicking. It's because they doing it. So at the end of the day, that's how they tell on themselves. So just stop listening to them. Stop fucking listening to whatever they got to say. And they gonna tell on their own self because they gonna cause another catastrophe. And then that's when they told on themselves. Like, leave people the fuck alone, and they can't do it. So therefore, you already know you living in a prison planet or a prison state. You putting yourself in the prison with the choices you made, provided by the ones that are in control. And the ones that are in control been doing this for a long time, and that's why come they know what the human is gonna do, what the human like, what the human gonna go after, what the human ain't gonna go, because the human gonna do whatever they gonna do and what they been doing. That's why when you look in the Bible and you say, hey, I can relate to that story. That story is just like what I went through and what I'm going through. Yeah, because humans have never changed. They just been the same. They ain't never changed. They've been the same. So when you look in the Bible and you say, man, I went through that same thing, right? So when do humans start to evolve? How they start to evolve? Because it seemed like if you going in the Bible days, they doing the same shit they doing now. So what has changed? Somebody died for what? If somebody died for your sins and it's still fucked up, nigga, you got sold on some bullshit ass. Somebody sold you a trick. And that trick that you believe is that prison that you put yourself in. So stop believing in tricks that you weren't there to even witness. Fuck all of that shit. And this is what they do. So when you stop listening to these officials and these pastors and all these motherfuckers, fuck anybody that's looking like an official. Fuck them. Like, they gotta look like a thug or something. Like, they gotta look like somebody that ain't dressing all up, trying to look like a fucking Smith program from the Matrix with a suit and a tie. You know, we ain't trying to look like no Smith program. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to be no suit bow tie motherfucker like a goddamn agent. We ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? So if you can't be natural in yourself and speak the truth, then that means you want to look like a program motherfucker. Look, I gotta have on a suit. I gotta be proper primp and all this old bullshit in a world that ain't proper and fucking primp. And you're not Jesus. So nigga, what you trying to prove? Again, we living in this goddamn time here where everybody wanna be telling somebody something, but they don't want to look into nothing. Not me, I done looked into shit. That's why I'm able to talk to you. And everything that I talk about on my videos, I always put look into it. Whatever subject matter I'm talking about, look into it. That's it. It ain't for me to show you all this shit because you still ain't gonna motherfucking get it. Once you look into it your damn self, I'm just telling you what's going on. I raised the flag. I raised the flag because I put up the red flag to let you know. That's my purpose, to put up the red flag and let you know. I can't lead the motherfucking horse. I can't make the horse drink the water. I can just lead him to the river. That's it. Now, that river is the information. If you choose not to go and look in the information, then I can just take you only so far, and then now you got to do the rest. That's just how that works. And when you start looking, and once you find the inconsistencies, then you understand all along it was you that put yourself in a prison by believing everything that an official says. Of an official, somebody that went to school and got a title, that don't mean that they sane. That don't mean they smart. That just mean they train well. They train well. Just like when you train a goddamn dog. Hey, sit, get down, sit, go catch that. It's frisbee. I'm gonna throw it. They just train well, but they're not commonsensical people. Streetwise, common sense type, natural inability. They don't have that. They just go to school and train well in school. They just know how to just laptop it and school it. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean they know. So they not trying to know nothing. They just programmed, and they there to program you because they've been programmed. So it's the program the rest of the people, and then therefore it creates more prisons inside of people's minds and lock them up into a box that they scared to jump out of. Because once they jump out that box, they feel like, where am I at? Where am I at? When you shouldn't worry about that. You should jump out that box, challenge everything that was in that box, and then jump back in that box. And I bet you won't feel comfortable in that box no more.